Okay, now we've washed our hands, remember 20 seconds, got my hair up, got the Karate Kid look going today. We grab a bowl, we want to add 500 grams of flour. Really important with your scales is that you put your bowl on and we zero it. Okay, if you don't do that, then the scales will measure the bowl as well. Then we want to add our flour, okay, and get it as close to 500 grams as we can. Really, really important that you don't go over. Okay, if you go over, we'll end up with a dry dough, okay, which is no good. You just want your dough slightly sticky, so slightly under is fine. So let's have a look here. 480, 490, 499. I think that's pretty good. All right. Can you just clip that bit off?
Now use your fork to make a well in the middle of the flour by scraping the flour to the edge of the bowl. Now add your 300 milliliters of tepid water. Please make sure it's not too hot, otherwise it will burn your yeast. Now add your yeast by sprinkling it onto the water. Please avoid sprinkling any of it onto the flour itself. Now add a level teaspoon of caster sugar by sprinkling that on top of the yeast. This will feed the yeast and speed up the fermentation process. Now slowly start to stir the yeast and sugar, slowly combining flour from the outside of the well. What you're looking for is to create a mixture, a runny mixture, to ribbon stage. Once you reach ribbon stage, cover the bowl with a clean, damp tea towel to create humidity within the bowl and leave to stand for 15 minutes. Now add a couple of pinches of salt around the outside to the flour. And a couple of good lugs of good quality olive oil to the mixture itself.
Alright, so as you would have seen, what I've done is I've taken the flour, I've added 300 milliliters of warm water, then I've sprinkled the yeast in, and in this case I've used sugar. I've used a little bit of caster sugar which feeds the yeast and activates it and helps with the fermentation process. However, it's not essential, you can remove that, but for this I love to do it, especially for pizza dough. It means I can make it much quicker than I would otherwise. Quite often when we used to work in the restaurants, we'd actually leave it to ferment overnight. You get a really strong flavour, but for this one, a little bit of sugar is perfect. Okay, we make the well in the middle, okay, and then we add our salt, and then we add our olive oil, okay, stir that together, bring it out onto a floured surface, and then you'll need to knead it for 5 to 10 minutes, which you'll see till you get a nice elastic dough. Alright, so follow the video and let's get kneading.
flour the surface, then place the dough down and start kneading using the heel of your hand, turning the dough and stretching it.
Clean bowl, please don't put it in your dirty bowl. Okay, once we've done that, we just get a little bit of olive oil that goes over the top. Okay, so once we've got our dough, put it in the bowl and it's got a little bit of olive oil to stop it from sticking. Then we get ourselves a damp, clean cloth and we cover it. Ultimately what we're doing is creating humidity and moisture in there. What that will do is help the dough to rise. Now you want to put this in a warm part of the kitchen. Take around about an hour to an hour and a half to double in size. Do not be tempted to speed it up by putting it on top of your oven. That will kill the yeast and you won't rise at all. Okay, so you do need to be a little bit patient, but I will see you in about an hour and a half. So until then, go outside, relax, and keep smiling.
So you can see that the dough has now doubled in size, or even a little bit more. So we're going to just take it out of the bowl, getting as much as we can, and place it onto a lightly floured surface. Roll it out into a length and then cut it into 6 even pieces. Now using one hand, roll each one into a perfect ball. Once you've finished rolling out your balls, spread them evenly, dust lightly with a little flour, and then cover them with a damp tea towel to double in size.
Okay, but over here we have the wonderful oregano and we're getting it just in time. So we're going to snip off some of this. So this is oregano. Okay, beautiful.
Pick a couple of baby bell peppers. Pick a chili if you like it spicy. Of course, don't forget some fresh thyme. Once they've doubled in size, takes about half an hour, they're now ready to roll into pizza bases. So take them over to the surface where you're going to prepare, lightly flour, and we're ready to go. Set the oven to 250 degrees to 275 degrees Celsius, ready to bake. Okay, press the dough out into a circle with your fingers. Turn it over just to get a light dusting on it and you're ready to roll. Don't be worried too much about the shape. It's a homemade pizza, so the rustic look is all good by me. Okay, let's start with a tomato base. Start in the middle and work your way towards the outside, leaving an edge, of course, because everybody likes that nice crispy crust. Now add a sprinkling of cheese over the tomato base. I like to use Edam because I don't like fatty cheese. I tend to add a little sprinkling of olive oil on the top just to help make the base nice and juicy. Now it's time to add your toppings. Just add whatever you want, but don't overload it. Remember, good pizza is about some strong flavours, few off, otherwise you'll just end up with a lot really complicated flavour. Pizza should take about 8 minutes, 4 minutes in the middle shelf, 4 minutes on the top, and it should be perfect. While the pizza is cooking, let's prepare some mini focaccias. Using the balls, we just use the back of our knuckles to make some holes, which is distinctive for focaccia bread. We're then going to drizzle olive oil over the top, add some sea salt, and we're going to add lots of fresh herbs. We will add these to the oven once the pizza has come out and we've been able to reduce the oven back down to around about 220 degrees. Okay, because they do a little bit denser, take a little bit longer to cook. Okay, set your oven to 220 degrees for your rolls and your calzone.